Greetings and welcome. We are in the Wednesday session of June 1-9. This is the PM session, and we are now ready to do our annotative work over Much Ado About Nothing. In front of you, you should have two things right now. One, you should have a blank sheet of paper, and at the top of it, today's date, and also you will be writing down specifically that you're working with Much Ado About Nothing, starting on page 47. 4-7. Now, in the third week, I'm telling you in advance so you're not shocked. In the third week now, we begin to be more critical of your annotations. So do not be shocked if at the end of our session, when you hand your annotation in your packet to Miss Laird, she says to you, sit down and work for 10 or 15 more minutes on creating better annotations for us. We need more information written down than what you have written down. I'm just saying that out loud. So nobody will be shocked at the end of the session at 3 if you're stuck here till 3:30 writing more annotations. So make sure you're taking good notes. That is to say, when we pause this reading, you want to make sure you're getting lots of things written down. If you don't feel like you're getting 4 or 5 things written down every time we pause it, then you need to raise your hand and say, I didn't get enough written down. Can you give me some more information to write down? It's that simple. Okay? We will, after our annotation work, we will then do some more work with a different type of annotation like we did yesterday, and then we'll move on to our writing, okay? Questions, comments? We are again with Much Ado About Nothing. Miss Laird.
Okay. Page, I believe we stopped at the top of 47.
News with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Count, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drovier, so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know.
Okay, just so to make sure that you guys are not totally lost, when we left these guys, Don John was talking to Claudio, and he was telling him that the prince plans on getting Hero for himself. So now Benedick is talking to him, and he's sitting there and he's messing with a scarf. Do you think I should wear a scarf? Or he's just being goofy. He's trying to make him laugh. And Claudio's really mad right now because he thinks that the prince is trying to take his girl. We're writing this down. So that's where we picked up, and now he's going to be talking about, he's not sure if Beatrice knew it was him or not when she was talking crap about him at the party to him. Actually, I like this one better than this one. I like the other better. Oh, just, it's pretty good. Okay, so we are on 49, I believe.
Me and not know me. The prince's fool? Ha! But maybe I go under that title because I am merry. But so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. I'll be revenged as I may.
Ah, signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Well, now make a trust to transgression. The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I'd been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great Thor, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit. Yea, and have cleft his club to make the fire, too. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal Arte in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her. For certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sit upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard, do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before, he won it of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
If faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen.
Amen.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's guessing. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
My lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
Okay. So, the prince comes in and he's talking to Benedick and he he wants to know why Claudio is so upset. None of them understand why. And then Benedick sees Beatrice coming, and he says, please find something for me to do. Send me on any kind of errand. I do not want to be here when she gets here. Then Beatrice comes up with Claudio, and they eventually everything gets worked out. The prince tells him that he wooed Hero in his name, and then at that very end, Beatrice was saying, "Oh, now my cousin has a husband. I'm going to be sitting in the corner, thinking maybe I should have a husband." The prince offers to find her a husband. The prince offers himself, and she says no.
To marry Beatrice?
And she says he's too costly to wear every day.
Wow, so she even turns down marriage with a prince. Which tells you how committed she is to never having a guy.
Okay, we're at the top of 57, around line 325.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just sevennight, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labours, which is
Here it comes.
to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefulest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valour and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humour your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedick, and I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedick that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Going with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Okay. So what's the prince's plan? How does he plan to do it?
Repeat the question.
How does the prince plan to set Beatrice and Benedick up? Well, they're gonna trick him, but with the help of Hero and Claudio, they're gonna tell the other that the other likes them. And the plan is to have it done before Hero and Claudio's wedding, in a week.
Did you notice Claudio wanted to marry Hero tomorrow? Right? And Hero's dad's like, no way, we're going to wait at least a week. Come on, give me a break. We can't go that fast. In the interim, they're going to be love gods. try and be what we would call for your notes matchmakers. Trying to bring guys and girls together, right?
Cupid.
Cupid, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay, so you should have a new heading that says Act 2, Scene 2.
Yeah, Miss Laird is looking for this at the end of the session, so make sure you write it down.
Yeah, make sure that you have your notes divided by acts and scenes so that I know that you were actually writing stuff down during those breaks. Okay.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favour of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honour in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
To despite them I will endeavour anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as, in love of your brother's honour, who have made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn the day of marriage.
So what's the plan? Sierra. How are they gonna mess things up? What is Margaret going to do?
She's gonna pose as Hero.
Well, how Borachio's going to trick Margaret into doing this is she already likes Borachio. This is Don John's servant. And he's going to say, let's play act. I'll be Claudio, you be Hero. So he tells Margaret that it's a game. She has no idea what's going on. Then Don John is supposed to convince his brother Don Pedro and Claudio to come to the window, or come look in the window. So Josh, we're about to start Act 2, Scene 3. You could go ahead and start your annotations there.
We'll let him pick up the rest of it on video later.
Yeah. So Act 2, Scene 3 should be at the top of your notes right now, guys. We're in the middle of page 63. So basically, they're trying to ruin, they can't directly attack the prince. So they're going to sit there and mess with his friends in order to hurt him. Claudio being his best friend.
That's called wit.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't you say that Beatrice is trying to make Benedick kill Claudio?
She will.
Yeah, see, that's called wit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Once Benedick and Beatrice took out, it was pretty fun. So how we doing back there?
Again, you ought to have at least 5 things written down every time this layer pauses. If you don't have 5 things written down, you need to raise your hand and ask for more information to write down.
Have you started scene 3 yet?
Let me see it. All right. You're fairly fabulous, Sherlock. Don't worry about it. Let's go, guys.
Hold on.
Act 2, Scene 3.
Boy,
Senor,
in my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am here already, sir.
I never that I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviours to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armour. And now will he lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician. And her hair shall be... Of what colour, please God? Prince of Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbour.
Can we pause for just a sec? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and have Miss Laird help you write down a few things about this scene, okay? I don't get it.
Okay, well this starts out, they're in a garden, and Benedick is by himself. He's sitting there talking to himself.
What do we call that in Shakespeare's language? What do we call that?
Schizophrenic.
No. It's called a soliloquy. When one person's on stage alone, remember? Soliloquy, where one person's on stage talking to himself.
And he starts talking about what a fool his friend Claudio has turned into since he has fallen in love. He's seen him go off into battle without looking at a girl, and now he's a complete idiot. And how, if he were to ever fall in love, that would never happen to him. And then he starts to list off the different things that the girl, these are the things that a girl has to have in order for him to fall in love. She's got to be rich, good looking, she has to be good at music, smart, And he just goes on and on.
Hey guys, what does it mean when boys say to their friends about a girl, shh? What's that mean when they do that? Shh. Like the guy will say, I can't go out tonight, I gotta go to the movie with my girlfriend. And all of his buddies go, shh. What does that mean? Nash, what does that mean if
He
buddies
lost
do
his
that?
man card.
Ripped, right? That's exactly what Benedick is saying about his pal Claudio. He's like,
Man card.
Claudio, right,
Oh, yeah.
Claudio used to love to go to hang out with the guys, he loved to go to the wars. Now, he's all orthography means. All he does is sit around and try and write love poems. Orthography means spelling. He's all about spelling and writing the right words. In other words, Benedick says, what happened to him? And then as Miss Larry says, he says, that will never happen to me. Of course, what's the irony of that? Of him saying that? What's the irony of that?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen to the one woman that he hates the most. Now they're going to set him up, though. And the way they're going to set him up is by talking as if they don't believe that he's there. They want him to overhear, and they're going to say, what? Beatrice is totally in love with Benedick? Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Right, and that's going to totally jack with Benedick, right? Watch how this works. It's awesome.
Shall we hear this music? Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedick hath hid himself. Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended would fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Good, my lord. Tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit, to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee come. Or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Note notes, forsooth, and nothing.
Now, divine air, now is his soul ravished? Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hail souls out of men's bodies? The horn for my money when all's done.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever, one foot in sea and one on shore, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go and be you blithe
Shakespeare wrote these songs, yes. It's a joke though, right? It's bad singing.
your songs of woe into a nonny nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer's first were leavy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your songs of woe into hey, nonny nonny.
By my troth, a good song,
And an ill singer, my lord.
No face. Thou singst well enough for a shift.
And he had been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged him. He got his bad
See
for
what
his bad
Benedick
no
said?
mischief. I had as live have heard the night raven, come what plague could have come after it.
Yea, marry, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick?
Here it is.
Oh, aye. Stalk on, the foul
thou sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she had, in all outward behaviour, seemed ever to abhor.
Is possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection that is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit? There was never a counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you... You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed. How, I pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence. He hath tamed the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she be up 20 times a night, and there would she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Then, down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedick knew of it by some other if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, if were in arms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell Benedick of it, and hear what I will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well.
So, the guys come out, and they have Balthazar sing a song, not the greatest song. The prince compliments him. Benedick is hiding in the bushes, observing all of this and talking to himself, making comments to himself for everything that they say. Leonardo says that he heard Beatrice loved Benedick. He'd overheard Beatrice talking to Hero about it. And the prince asks if it was a joke because she's always saying how much she hates him. Leonardo says that she writes love letters to Benedick and then she rips them up. And then she falls on the floor and she cries and she says, God give me patience. And then they say, if Benedick knew any of this, he would tease her. She absolutely doesn't want him to know because of the possible rejection.
Wait, who is Hero saying it to?
Who is Hero what?
Saying that to.
These are the guys talking amongst themselves.
Oh. I thought you said Hero.
And they know Benedick's there?
They know Benedick is, they know right where he is.
No, but you're right, Jesus. The way Claudio says it this way, it's total setup, right? But the way Claudio says he knows this is true is because at nighttime, Hero and Beatrice sleep in the same bedroom. And Hero has said she has watched Beatrice before crying, oh, I'm so in love with Benedick, but I can't tell him. And that's how Claudio says he knows, because Hero has told him in confidence. Of course, it's totally made up, right?
Yeah.
Claudio's just trying to jack with Benedick to get him to believe that Beatrice is in love with him. Which is going to make it very interesting the next time Benedick meets Beatrice, right? Because Beatrice is going to act like she hates his guts, but in his mind, he's going to think, oh, she's just doing that to try and hide the fact she really likes me. Right?
Okay. All right, we should be at the top of 75.
Well, if she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
But he hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the managing of quarrels you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, then must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God. Howsoever it seems not in him by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewomen carry. The sport will be when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
Yeah.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. And my truth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some old quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humour? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady.
Let's pause for a second there.
I do spy some marks of love in her.
Oh my gosh.
What does it take for a guy to fall in love? All he's got to do is to think the girl likes him. That's all it takes. And he goes from, I'll be a bachelor all my life, to the world must be people. What does that mean, the world must be people?
Multiply.
Right, people got to hook up, exchange fluids so that there can be children born. That's what it means, right? In other words, all right, I will get married. So now all of a sudden he's ready to go from being a bachelor and single to getting married and having lots of kids.
Evolution.
Amazing. An evolution, not only a physical evolution, but what? I mean, this is the way guys' minds work. The minute they think the girl likes them, bam, they're ready. Crazy. Totally insane.
Well, and then he goes through the checklist. He goes through the beginning. He starts going through. Well, yeah, Beatrice has that. She has that. So Beatrice is coming in right now to get him for dinner. The guys did this on purpose.
Yeah, they're going to send Beatrice now to make him come to supper.
And she's so mad.
She hates his guts. Every word now, he's going to think it has a double meaning. That really Beatrice is totally into him. Like I said, there's a group of high school kids that tried to pull this off once, and they did it. It was pretty funny.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Fair, Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a door withal.
God.
Oh, you have no stomach, signor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much as to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. Oh, if I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a Jew. I will go get her picture.
Yeah, Shakespeare will have Jew jokes in a number of his plays. The most famous, of course, is Shylock in the famous comedy Merchant of Venice. What he means by that is, I need to not be greedy. Jews were oftentimes perceived as being greedy. They took their money or whatever, right? So the idea is, Shakespeare's just playing stereotypic games.
They still are.
What?
Just still playing the games, right?
I didn't know that.
So you want to put it in your notes. How easy can a guy fall? It's as easy as one overheard conversation where they hear, supposedly, that Beatrice loves him. Now, she will say, against my will, I am commanded to bring you into supper, and he somehow thinks that means that's code language for I love you. I hate your guts. I'd like to stab you with a knife means I really love you. Guys can make anything what they want it to be in their minds. Shakespeare showing us how guys will fall for anything.
Okay, let's get as far into Act 3, Scene 1 as we can. So you guys should have a new heading, Act 3, Scene 1.
Yes.
Top of...
Are we at the very beginning?
Very beginning. Should we wait?
Let's wait, and we'll they've been good students today for that session, so we'll get extra. We'll allow you to go ahead and call that one what it is. That one's a day, all right? That one's a wrap, as they say. Are guys really that fickle?
Yes.
Is a guy that easy?
Yes.
They're easy.
That is insulting.
Really? That easy?
I'm not that easy.
You're not that easy? Then he smiles. Just for the record, he smiled after he said that.
I don't know, if you give me a million G's, maybe.
Oh, no.
Steely.
What happened last year when I got you a million G's?
I did not ditch. I just took an extra 10-minute break.
We're gonna be in our books now on page 724 and following. 724 and following. We're gonna work with a poem that I hope you've studied before. 724 and following. If you haven't, that's okay. Well, I can still work with it, but I'm gonna hope that you've seen this poem already. 724 and following. Actually, yeah, 724. Is the poem. You need a blank sheet of paper out. Now, hopefully, you've got enough information from your study of Much Ado that when you show that to Miss Laird, you'll be ready to go. So now the issue is, can we do our second form of annotation study, all right? So, Mr. Nash, you want a blank sheet of paper out. You want a number 1, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. The title of the poem is The Road Not Taken. As I say, I'm hoping that most of you are familiar with this Robert Frost offering. If this is a brand new poem to you, don't sweat it. We're going to exegete. But the advantage to studying a poem you've already seen is that we can spend less time at level 1 and more time at level 2 and level 3. Okay? Mr. Nash, question?
Is there 2B also?
Yeah, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. So you'll want to skip a few lines in between each one.
Oh, you did.
Okay? Excellent. On page 724 of your hymnal. Why you got 2 books open?
No, just for that support, so I don't have to look down.
Oh, I understand. I got it. Jimmy's like, whatever.
Oh, these are your
Is this yours, Jim?
What? No.
Oh.
That's mine.
No, it's not.
It is too.
Oh, it is?
No. Can I have it, please?
No.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The Road Not Taken, a famous poem. You could argue the most famous poem that the great American poet Robert Frost ever wrote. Let's take a look at it now together.
Who's Robert Frost?
Robert Frost. Let's write it down. It's a great question right away. Mr. Workman says you're absolutely right. We probably should make some reference to who this guy is. Look at this picture on 721. Back up 2 pages. 721. And there it is. America's poet, beloved American poet. 721. Do you see it right there? Robert Frost, one of the greatest of American poets. And this is one of his most famous poems. Okay? Raise your hand if you've seen this poem before or read this poem before.
Did William Shakespeare really look like that?
Yeah, well, that's what we think he looked like. That's what we think he looked like, right? We're having that conversation, huh? We don't know a lot about who the guy really was, right? That's what we think. There are portraits handed down with that guy's name, Shakespeare's name attached to that image. So that's what we think. But like I said yesterday, I think we were talking about authorship issues. We really don't know for sure.
So like William Shakespeare could have really been Hitler?
Well, think about the question you're asking. Shakespeare is 1600. Hitler lives in 1930-40, right? So we're talking about 300 years difference in time.
So maybe Adolf Hitler's and their names got switched.
What I would say is authorship of Shakespeare is questionable. We don't know for sure. Beyond that, of course, your question is common.
No, like
right?
I mean, William Shakespeare's name could really have been Adolf Hitler, and Adolf Hitler.
The names would have nothing to do with the people themselves, right? Of course, I don't mind if you ask me questions like this, because what this means is